Guys, if you like Dragon Ball Haky, today is the best day for you to subscribe to our Patreon. We started publishing about 3 pages a day of the next chapter of Dragon Ball Haky. In addition, you will also have access to several other stories created by our team, including Dragon Ball Shinken. By collaborating with our Patreon, you help us keep Dragon Ball Haky alive and have a lot of benefits. Become a member of our community too. The link is in the video description and in the pinned comment. I'm waiting for you there.
Previously on Dragon Ball Super, the Tower of Power. Goku and his friends are suddenly summoned to the Tower of Power, a very mysterious place ruled by Zalama, the dragon god who created the Super Dragon Balls and Super Shenron. On the first floor of the Tower of Power, warriors will fight to prove whether or not they are worthy of going to the next floor. Goku is the first to fight and is tense to discover that he cannot sense the ki of the other participants. Will Goku and his friends prove powerful enough to get through this first phase? Find out now! Guys, before I start telling chapter 2, I want to ask you to leave a like on the video if you like this new story. Also comment #Tower of Power if you approve of this new story and want to see more chapters of it here on the channel. If you are not yet subscribed to the Haky channel, subscribe now so you don't miss any more chapters of this story or other content on our channel, okay? Well, now let's move on to the chapter. In Super Saiyan 2, Goku studies his opponent. The Saiyan is a little tense as he can see great malice and bloodlust in the other fighter. On the other hand, he is unable to feel his ki and measure his power. Goku knows he must be very cautious in this fight. The one called Viperk, the conqueror, tells him, "Your name is Son Goku, right? I'm sorry to say, but you couldn't have chosen a worse opponent. In my universe, I'm known for my invincibility and ruthlessness. Over my more than 1,000 years of existence, I've attacked countless planets and subjugated countless peoples. No man or army has ever withstood my power. One thing about me is that I am merciless toward those who oppose my rule. Anyone who dares resist is torn apart like a worm. However, everyone who knows my name is aware that I spare the lives of those who don't resist. With that said, I'll give you just one chance to back out. Think carefully before you answer, because once this fight starts, I won't stop until you're in pieces. Now tell me, Son Goku, will you bow to me and avoid this fight, or will you resist?" Despite the tension due to his opponent's unpredictability, Goku ends up smiling after hearing this proposal. He responds, "Sorry friend, but giving up a fight isn't an option for me. You won't scare me with that kind of talk? I've faced enemies with a profile very similar to yours before. In fact, one of them is right here. What bothers me though is this combat rule that allows killing. I was thinking of suggesting that we fight without that intention, but I can already tell you're not the type to go for that. Looks like there's nothing left to say, so let's get started." Viperk, the Conqueror, is angered by Goku's response and then begins to increase his power, preparing for the massacre. "You insolent! So this is how you respond after a sovereign like me offers you clemency? I've seen this scene thousands of times. It's always like this. Would-be heroes like you decline my offer of mercy, and after finding themselves powerless in the face of my great power, they piss and mess themselves. Well, in the end, it's better for me if you refuse, as I was really looking forward to testing the powers of the participants of this place." After concentrating his power, the Conqueror reveals a monstrous form. Behold, Son Goku, the form that brought terror to countless civilizations, the form that hundreds of thousands of heroic men like you saw moments before they screamed in despair. Thirsty for the blood of the one who dared to challenge him, Viperk advances against his opponent to land a fatal blow. When Viperk starts his attack move, Goku is very surprised. What? This guy's speed! Does that mean, sparing no strength, Viperk delivers a blow against Goku, capable of destroying an entire planet with the same ease that a sledgehammer is capable of crushing a cube of sugar? To the Conqueror's utter shock, his punch is nothing in comparison to Goku's Super Saiyan 2 strength. "You stopped my punch with one finger. How is this possible? What kind of magic trick is this?" asks the one who appoints himself as a sovereign. Replied by the Saiyan, "Man, you're a lot weaker than I imagined. I'll admit, I was a bit concerned when I couldn't sense your ki. But the moment you moved to attack me, I could tell just how weak you are by your speed. Your attack was so slow that I could see and think through every move you made. Well, you've had your turn, so now it's mine, right? Before Viper could ask him to give up, Goku lands a sharp blow on the Viper Man, who feels the damage from this attack reverberate in every region of his body. Even though Goku didn't use much force in his blow, Viper's body was unable to resist, and thus he who boasted so much about his sovereign power fell ignominiously. When the other combatant falls defeated, Goku notices something different about his body and comments, "What a strange thing. Even if just a little, I felt my power increase." As soon as Goku comments on this, Zalama explains, "That's right, my dear Goku. This is one of the most fun aspects of the Tower of Power. Every time you defeat an enemy, you receive a power boost equivalent to a percentage of the defeated opponent's power. Now that you've beaten Viper, you've just gained a power boost proportional to his power. As you've noticed, Viper isn't very strong compared to you, so the power gain wasn't that significant considering your full potential. However, if you manage to defeat more powerful enemies, you'll notice a very significant difference. It's a fair rule, don't you think? Pure meritocracy. In fact, Goku really likes this rule. Amazing! So every time I win a fight, I get a portion of the power of the person I defeated, right? That means if I can beat powerful opponents here, I'll become much stronger. I hope I get lucky and face someone stronger next time." Excited by Goku's victory, his youngest son praises him when he returns to the stands. "Congratulations, Dad. You beat him with one blow." "True, but I'm not very happy about it. That guy was really weak. I could have beaten him without even turning into a Super Saiyan. Because he was weak, I gained an insignificant amount of power from this fight." Vegeta agrees. "It's true. It was a very disappointing fight, Kakarot. I hope my opponent is much stronger than yours." Trunks asks, "Is everyone here as weak as this guy?" Piccolo responds, "I doubt it. Just like there are weak people like that guy, there must also be those as powerful as us. Or maybe even more so. Neither of you should let your guard down." Gohan agrees with his master. Mr. Piccolo is right. Until we know the opponent's power level, it is best to deduce that it is someone extremely powerful who deserves all our caution. Goku and his friend's conversation is interrupted when a mysterious warrior who looks like a were-lion comes to them. This warrior addresses the Saiyan who just fought. "I hope you're not too full of yourself just for beating that weakling. That guy was so pathetic, I wouldn't even call it a real fight. Your son Goku from Universe 7, right? That's what I heard that guy called Zalama say." Even though this man's approach is not so friendly, Goku greets him politely. "Oh, so you know me? You're right, I'm Goku. And you? My name is Nemeron, better known as the Alpha Warrior, a title given to the most powerful mortal warrior in Universe 8. Lord Liquier spoke a lot about you after the Tournament of Power, so I was eager to meet you." Goku is both surprised and excited. "Hey, wait! Universe 8? So you belong to one of the universes that did not participate in the Tournament of Power? Cool! I think we'll have the opportunity to fight here." Nemeron, on the other hand, doesn't seem to have as friendly intentions as Goku's, saying with a mischievous smile, "Yes, I also wish for that opportunity." All the parallel conversations that began after the end of the first fight are stopped when Zalama speaks again. "Now that we've had a brief taste of what the competition on this first floor will be like, let's start with the next fights." And so the fighting continued. Gohan didn't face a very powerful opponent and was able to defeat him with moderate difficulty, using only the power of his regular Super Saiyan form. Majin Buu also didn't have much difficulty with his opponent, who, after piercing Buu's gelatinous body with a hasty attack, using all his power, was exposed to a finishing blow from the Pink Demon, who won the fight without even sweat. Goten was not so lucky and ended up having to face a powerful fighter who was able to match in power even Goku's son Super Saiyan 2. In the end, Goten was able to win, in exchange for a considerable expenditure of energy and also a sore body. The one who faced Kale was not that strong, despite his frightening size. At first, Kale was very insecure, however. When she noticed how weak he was compared to her, she finished him with a single movement. Unfortunately, Unfortunately for him, Vegeta had to fight an opponent even weaker than Goku's, which deeply irritated the Prince of the Saiyans. He ended the fight with just the pressure of a punch in the air. Even though killing is allowed in this competition, and he could use his assassination techniques, Hit didn't see the need to use such abilities against his opponent. He quickly knocked her out with a simple strike. Broly didn't even need to move to defeat his opponent. As soon as the order to start was given, the poor fool rushed to attack the Saiyan with all his might, hoping to end the fight quickly. Unfortunately for him, even the base power of the legendary Super Saiyan was too much, and the man broke his hand in the process, giving up the fight shortly after realizing the vast difference in their powers. Trunks was unlucky twice in his fight. First, his opponent had a considerable level of power. To make matters worse, it was a woman. Not wanting to fight a girl, Trunks spent a lot of time just avoiding her attacks until he finally mustered the courage to close his eyes and defeat her with a strong energy blast. Frieza fought right after Trunks, and annoyed by Vegeta's son wasting so much time in his fight over something as trivial as chivalry, he didn't have the patience to drag out his own battle. He finished the other competitor in just 1 second with a deadly attack. To her complete fury and disappointment, Caulifla's opponent was an extremely weak insect man who was defeated with just a single stomp from the Saiyan girl. At first, Oob was intimidated by the size and build of his enemy, but after realizing that the other fighter was extremely weaker than him despite appearance, he defeated him with a single blow and without much effort. Piccolo's opponent was a skilled fighter with a considerable level of power. The Namekian managed to defeat him without resorting to any transformations, but it was a challenging fight. Frost encountered a powerful enemy. However, by using his secret poison, he was able to subdue the unsuspecting opponent without much difficulty, gaining a considerable amount of power in his first fight with little effort. Unlike his companions who, with more or less difficulty, were dominant in their battles, Cabba finds himself facing an opponent who surpasses his power. This warrior was announced by Zalama as Thornax from Universe 8, Reality 12. Thornax mocks the young Saiyan. "You're not a bad fighter, boy. The problem is that you had the misfortune of having me, Thornax the Crusher, as your opponent. With my colossal strength, I subdue my opponents. Give up this fight now, before I kill you." The situation is not looking good for Cabba, who has already noticed the huge gap between his power and that of his enemy after only a short time in combat. However, the young Saiyan still has a trump card up his sleeve, and even though he doesn't want to, he plans to use it. "You are very powerful, I admit that, but don't think I'm going back. My master taught me that a Saiyan warrior, to protect his pride and everything that is important, must not surrender to a difficulty, but must surpass his own limits to overcome these difficulties." Cabba focuses all his ki, unleashing a massive amount of energy that manifests as a dense, blazing ki aura around him, surrounded by powerful electric sparks. He announces to his opponent, "This is my Super Saiyan 3. The transformation I've been working on all this time. Since the end of the Tournament of Power, I have trained very hard to achieve and then improve this transformation, and I must say that I'm very satisfied with the result I have achieved so far. I wanted to wait a little longer to show this. I intended to use it at a decisive moment and thus surprise Master Vegeta and make him proud. Unfortunately, you ruined my plans, Thornax." With his speed and strength renewed by the power of Super Saiyan 3, Cabba charges forward and lands a direct hit on Thornax, who is taken aback by the Saiyan's elevated combat attributes. The Beast Warrior asks, stunned, "Damn, how did you increase your power so much?" Cabba replies, "You've already seen me transform into Super Saiyan 1 and 2 in this fight, but the increase in power that Super Saiyan 3 gives me is even greater. I have trained this transformation with all my effort, and I will not lose while using this power." In the stands, Goku is impressed by Cabba's performance. "Wow! Cabba is using Super Saiyan 3 and still isn't wasting much of his energy. The control he has over this transformation is better than even mine, and he's so young." Hearing Goku's comments, Caulifla explains, "As soon as he used Super Saiyan 3 for the first time, Cabba immediately noticed a huge drain on his energy. Since then, he has looked for ways to reduce this excess energy expenditure. I don't like to admit it, but this guy was simply brilliant in the way he learned to deal with this transformation." Cabba keeps pressing Thornax, attacking the Rhino Warrior with his best punches and kicks. each hit making the other fighter more and more impressed. After I was defeated in the Tournament of Power, I promised myself that I would give my all to never lose a fight again. I will never disappoint my master or leave my companions in the lurch. I will become stronger and stronger and ensure I never face defeat anymore. Seeing his self-proclaimed disciple display such proficiency, Vegeta can't help but feel a heart full of pride. In his thoughts, he admits, "I knew this boy had incredible potential. Well done, Cabba. You finally understand the value of hard work and strengthening your Saiyan pride. Now show everyone what you're capable of and finish this guy off once and for all." Intent on ending the fight quickly, Cabba delivers his most powerful punch. However, to his surprise, Thornax easily blocks the blow. "What is this? That was my strongest blow, and you handled it like it was nothing." Finding amusement in the situation, Thornax responds, "Poor boy, don't tell me you thought you surpassed my power just because of that brief moment of advantage. Don't fool yourself. I was just surprised at how quickly you progressed. That's all. Your power is still nothing compared to mine." In a counterattack that Cabba couldn't avoid due to Thornax's strength and speed, the beastly warrior delivers a brutal blow, breaking the young Saiyan's back over his knee. Cabba screams in pain while Thornax grunts with satisfaction. The sounds of Cabba's agony and the cracking of his bones are clearly heard from the stands, shocking his companions. Leaving his now motionless opponent on the ground, Thornax steps on him as if he were a piece of trash. "You're not that weak, but unfortunately you had to face me. Thornax, the Crusher. In battle, it doesn't matter how you fought. In the end, whether the losers fought well or poorly, honorably or not, they're treated the same, like trash." With growing fury in his heart, Vegeta watches what's happening to his disciple. What action will the Prince of the Saiyans take? If you've made it this far, comment now, Vegeta's Fury, and then I'll know that you were one of the true fans who stayed until the end. Also, comment what you thought of the story in general. Leave a like on the video if you didn't do so at the beginning, because it helps us a lot. And subscribe to receive our next videos. If you have a friend or relative who is a fan of Dragon Ball, share this video with them so more people can get to know our work. And don't forget to contribute financially if you can. Any amount helps us a lot. A big hug to all of you and see you in the next video.